Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are discussing a very interesting but often overlooked topic about property investment, and that is repairs and maintenance. If you want to generate cash flow, have your properties appreciate, and keep your tenants happy, this is a video that you don't want to miss. Hi, I am Jaco, Grobbelaar, the founder and managing director of Prosperity Enterprises, and with me today I've got Michael Rehder, the founder of Advanced Design and Maintenance. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, Jaco. I'm so excited to be here this morning.
Now, Michael, you've renovated and done the maintenance on my properties for over a decade now. How has that been?
Great. Yeah, I think that started off pretty small, and obviously as you grew, we grew with it. So we've had a lot of fun, and along with a lot of fun comes a lot of challenges, but nothing that we can't do. So it's been an interesting last couple of years.
What has been one of the most interesting renovations you've done for me?
I think some of the when we started with some of the properties and converted them from single units to multi-let units. I think that was quite a shift for us in mindset to see, how do we do this? How do we create this additional space? How do we make the rest of the space still livable and still exciting for tenants? So that was quite exciting for us to jump into and get started. And then obviously from there, we've done a countless number of them by now. So that was definitely, I think, one of the more interesting things that we've done in the last couple of years.
Great. Michael, let's start with this. Why is property maintenance and renovations a game changer for property investors?
I think for a lot of property investors, they focus on buying a property at the right price, and that's obviously vital. Get a good property at a good price. But a lot of them neglect the general maintenance, the basic things you could do to a property to, keep the value, appreciate the value, keep your tenants happy, and just, create a space where people want to be. So by doing that, you just add value that I think a lot of people omit, and in the long run could cost you quite a bit of money.
Now, you've seen what we do when we acquire a property. Maybe you can share a bit with everyone. What are the things that we look at when we acquire properties for our own portfolio?
Yeah, so obviously, like we said earlier, a very, very important part, Jaco always says, you make your money when you buy at a discount. So that's obviously important. Buy the right property at a discount. But then furthermore, when you do these renovations and maintenance, to be sure that you don't overinvest in your property. Obviously, you want to make it as comfortable and as exciting as possible for your tenants to live in. You want to create a space where people come in. It's not a space they see everywhere, every day. Small things one can do to really change a space is a basic coat of paint. A lot of people, simply just don't do it, but it immediately changes a space. Furthermore, if you're looking at renovating on a bit more of a budget, look at stuff like replacing old light fittings and fixtures with newer light fittings and fixtures, plug points and light switches. Again, a small cost, but a massive difference to the unit itself. And then lastly, when one wants to spend a little bit more, kitchens, bathrooms are a great way to improve the property value, create a space where people walk in and say, this is where I want to be, this is where I want to live, this is what I want to call home. So by doing basics, you can really add a lot of value to it. And then obviously get it rented out quicker. If a property stands empty for a month, what that costs you.
Absolutely.
If you renovate, you do it cost effectively, you get tenants in immediately, and you immediately save. So I'd say investors or property owners too often think of maintenance as an expense. Maintenance is not an expense. Maintenance is an investment into your property.
Great. And I think you've mentioned two things, Michael, that's very important here, and that is if your property looks good and people actually want to live there, so you fill the property quicker, number
Absolutely.
one. And number two is you can probably charge a bit more for the property.
Absolutely.
So you can actually increase your return and your cash flow by doing a little bit of maintenance.
Absolutely. I think if we look at some of the stuff that we've done for you, there's one property that comes up in particular where we did a renovation, we repainted, we changed a couple of things as we mentioned now. And I think if I'm correct, the first people we took through, or your team took through the property to look at the property, actually decided to take it, actually signed the lease and moved in. So that's what we want. We want to know that what we're doing for our clients is relevant, it makes sense, and we can do it to fit into their budget. you don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of rands to get a place looking fresh and new. You can, and in some instances people do, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you can do it at a fraction of the price and still add a lot of value to these properties.
Michael, what are some of the things that people neglect when it comes to maintenance?
Sure, Jaco, that's a very good question. What we find often is small little things that don't look like they need too much attention now, but left long actually could cause quite a bit of damage. A very good example is wooden doors, window frames, sashes. They're great, they look stunning on property, they give it a premium feel, but we found that 8 out of 10 landlords neglect to do the general maintenance on those, varnishing of them, sanding them off, treating them for sun, water, etc. And that's a massive expense. To replace a sliding door, as an example, could set you back 15,000-20,000 rand easily. By just doing the maintenance and actually, varnishing these fixtures and fittings properly year on, you can easily expand the life of something like that by 5-10 plus years just by doing basic maintenance. Same with roof leaks. A lot of people want to treat the symptom and simply paint over a part where they saw some marks from rain, or quickly put a patch on the roof. But to actually get out there and make sure that your roofs are maintained and looked after is vital. And then if I think back to some of the cases that we've had in the last couple of years, is when people neglect the basic roof maintenance, and there is a big issue that comes up when you neglect the basic roof maintenance and you do have a big storm and it gets to a place where you need to claim from insurance. Often they will reject these claims because basic maintenance on a roof hasn't been done. So those are vital things that can save you a lot of money over the long run by just being proactive in doing that maintenance and making sure that stuff is kept in a good, neat and proper condition.
I think one of the best ways to keep tenants happy as well is to respond quickly to their requests if something is leaking or is not working properly, right?
Absolutely. With the portfolio that you as Prosperity have, you guys will know firsthand how important it is to get back to your tenants as quick as possible. So we really strive for a quick 24 to 48 hour turnaround on normal issues. Obviously much quicker when it comes to electrical faults or a leak or a roof leak or water. So absolutely, that shows your tenant that you care. It shows your tenant that they're important to you, and it shows your tenant that you value them. They are not just another tenant in one of your units. And by doing that, obviously you get tenants that end up staying with you for a long time. So the longer they stay, the easier for you to manage. There's no need to remarket your properties. There's no need to take people through these inspections, etc. again. And obviously, year on year, your rent goes up. So absolutely vital. The tenant must be placed first.
Now, you get maintenance and then you get renovations. Now, renovation is a very hot topic. A lot of people flip properties where they actually buy a property, renovate it. They spend a little bit more. It's not just the usual maintenance. It's actually improving the value significantly of the property. Can you give us some advice around renovations, Mike?
Absolutely. So again, I think it comes back to what we said a little bit earlier. You need to look at what this property is going to be used for before we renovate. Is this something that you plan to buy and flip? Is this something that you plan to buy and multi-let? Is this something that you plan to buy and, let's say, rent out to a family, as an example? And based on that, plan your renovation so that you don't over invest in this property. Doing again basic stuff like bathrooms and kitchens is the place where most people spend a lot of time. So to make sure those are fresh and new and exciting spaces, good lighting is very important, especially in kitchens and bathrooms. Come looking back at paint and the basics to make sure that you have something that's modern and new and fresh that actually speaks to, be it the person that walks through to potentially buy the property, or the next tenant that you decide to place in the property, that it's a space they want to call home.
That makes sense, Mike. So for somebody that's on a budget, what would you say are the top three things that a person can do on a small budget to improve the value and how the property looks?
So I'd absolutely say number one, repaint your unit. Again, something modern, something fresh, something new. Secondly, light fixtures and light fittings. Small expense, big return. Again, it's something you walk in, you see, and it immediately adds value to your property. And then lastly, changing simple things like cupboard handles and kitchen cupboard handles, tap fixtures and fittings, just again to keep up with the times, to look nice and modern, to give that new feel to a property. I would say is my number 1, 2, and 3 most important stuff to do if you'd want to renovate slightly on a budget.
Thanks, Mike. That's great. All right, Michael, let's wrap up. For property investors viewing this, what would you say are the best advice that you can give for them from a renovations and maintenance perspective?
I'd say be proactive and not reactive. Secondly, I'll say regular maintenance to your property is very important. Make sure you have some eyes and some feet on the ground at least once a year to have a look at what could possibly be done to maintain your property. And then, lastly, I'd say use a good, reputable team to actually look after your property portfolio from a renovations and the maintenance perspective. A team that you build a relationship with, that that you can trust, that can be your second set of eyes and ears on the property.
Where can people find you?
So you can find us on our website at advanceddesignandmaintenance.co.za. We also have a page on Facebook and on Instagram, and I believe Jaco said there'll be a link below to our website as well.
That's right. Thank you for joining. If you love this content and would like to receive more of it, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And then, if you are in a position where you want to sit with us to help you and guide you with setting up a strategy for you to build your property portfolio, to set up the correct structures, make sure to click in the comment section on the link where you can book a one-on-one consultation with us and where we can help you and guide you in this journey as a property investor. Thank you very much.